Welcome back to Persona Q2 New Cinema Labyrinth. We got exactly halfway through Block 3 of the Theatre District last time, and now it's time to evolve some more Personas as we complete the second half. Get the Festival Drum, Strength plus 5. Okay, plus 5's a fairly sizable bonus. Okay, we have the Glowing Bead, which is new, I think. Raise Ice Evasion. Yeah, I'd rather have a completely Drain Ice thing. I've noticed I don't actually have any Electrain items. But now that I am at Wild level 62, it's Wife and Waifu time! Okay, Decay Circle is Strength Bind, which I don't have on a lot of things, though, you know, Salome's Kiss is kind of better than everything else at this point. Mother Harlot, you, and none of you have any bind skills. Oh, okay, that's her gimmick. Looking up her full skill set, she learns all the circles. Okay, Alice and Copper Tengu will get me Skadi, and that can get Salome's Kiss onto Voivre, but... Firstly, I want to do what I promised to do a long time ago. Sacrifice you into Saturnile to pass down Curse Amp. I do kind of like Death Needle, but I think I will get rid of it in this case. And now I can buy back the version with Die For Me. Oh, please tell me I actually have Copper Tengu. I do. Okay, good. Okay. I really want Scarecrow, because as good as Salome's Kiss is, I need that super reliable agility bind. And Heroic Gemini is great, but not for you. You're more of a support persona. So I think I will take Debilitate. You're essentially going to replace Alice for now, apart from Curse skills. Of course, you'll also be something that I will hopefully... Well, actually, I don't think I need to sacrifice you that much, because Mitsuru is the one party member who learns, well, apart from Ken, but Ken's bind skills don't really matter. But yeah, Mitsuru is kind of the only one you want Bind Arts Plus on, and she already naturally learns that. Now, the only other persona that's available to me right now is Jatayu. Better HP than Bugs. Can I fit all of the skills I want, though, is the question. Shura Tensei, Bound Arts Plus... I guess, yeah, Heaven's Blade and Vorpal Blade, and that should be all I need. Actually, wait, maybe Heaven's Blade and Death... Oh, wait, no, you already have, AoE Physical. So no, Heaven's Blade and Vorpal Blade. Jatayu, one of the late-game bosses of Digital Devil Saga. At a point that I never actually got past my first playthrough because I just rage-quit the Karma Temple because I never map. And here we are, back in the Theatre District, and right in front of us is... a completely new FOE! Just as the Humberbar was the perfect physical attacker, this is the perfect magical attacker. Well, not exactly perfect, but pretty much the strongest FOE for that. Which, I'm kind of glad for that, because a lot of the FOEs so far have been physical. I would say the vast majority of enemy FOEs are physical. In fact, enemy FOEs are redundant, because the E stands for enemy, but still. It's not moving right now. Ah, now I remember this gimmick. So, if you played, I believe it's Zelda Link's Awakening that has an enemy that works like this. Whatever you do, it mirrors it. Yeah. Or, from its perspective, it is doing the same thing that we're doing, just from its perspective. In a way, actually, that fits with the whole film themes, because, yeah, movies are all about perspective, and, yeah, what you see, in fact, I think, like, the actual world is, upside down from how we perceive it, because of the way that our eyes interpret the information. It's just sort of fascinating to think about, and, the things about color and how we will never actually be able to tell if, color is even real, because for all we know, because, you can never actually see through another person's eyes, so for all we know, the way that I perceive color is not the way that you perceive color. So if we take a step forward, it will take a step forward from its perspective, and if I go here, it'll go there. Okay, so now it's, yeah, taking a step forward, and from here, it'll go that way, and now that way. So yeah, if we do this, we'll be able to map out this whole area without it attacking us. Oh, finally the gold thing's Alexi, but of course we have 2 Electric things here and I only have 1 Elect skill. Omnibane Doll. Oh, great, these things. And once again, the Shin Megami Tensei Wiki is wrong. It doesn't say they show up in this floor. Yeah, it's one of those that has a random weakness, and it's got a 1 in 8 chance of pretty much every element. And physical seems to always be fine. It never resists physical. Yeah, Electrike Link's the only electric skill that I have. Unless Miracle Punch and then Teddy, Scarecrow, so the front row can't dodge. I am very glad that was on the front row, not the back row, because the back row would have both been weak to that. Maybe putting them both on the same row was a bad idea. But yeah, let's just hope that that's not its Bane element. It probably... Yep, that's a Bane element. Yeah, it's unfortunately a bit of a crapshoot. You've just got to hope that you get the right thing. And Ken immediately goes down. A little late on the All Guard there. Actually, you weren't a little too late on the All Guard. Okay, Agility Bind does neuter the self-destruct a lot. Okay, just use Frost Dance. Does that mean it's going to be weak to fire this turn? Well, I don't think I actually selected fire on anybody, so we're probably not going to find out. I don't know if that's going to help much. Well, I mean, at least the dice are dead before they can self-destruct. Okay, well, I'll take that. Yeah, it seems like the Omnibane Doll, I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, but it seems like it doesn't actually use Holy Wrath, but, which makes sense, because, you know, they wouldn't want to punish you for something that you have no way of possibly avoiding. For something that's entirely random and out of your control. Is that going to be 3 Persona Revolutions? We have Kamo Susanoo, and with that we get change in resistances, and Snacking Art has upgraded into Snacking Expertise, which seems to restore 15% HP per turn instead of 5. Making it as good as Regenerate 3, according to the data mine. So, yeah, effectively free Regenerate 3, which is a bit of a waste of a skill, of a, you know, personal skill, since some party members just get general Regenerate skills naturally. But Ken now has Kalanemi, and yeah, still, interestingly, Ken has the highest stat total of any character. Aspiring Heart has been upgraded to Great Unity Link, which seems to increase, yeah. It's actually, no, it is literally a copy of FeMC's Telepathic Bond, exactly the same skill. Link skills do 25% more damage for every additional hit. Which is nice, but it sucks for Ken to have a skill that's just the exact same as one of the better Linkers in the game. Well, probably the best Linker in the game. And just like in the original Persona Q, Shinjiro retains Castor, but he gets Super Castor now. And so Super Castor upgrades from Iron Fist style to Effortless style, which instead of an 80% chance to add splash damage is now a 100% chance. I just realized that Akihiko and Shinjiro's, fitting for Castor and Pollux, are basically mirrors to each other. The base versions are a buff that gives your attacks an 80% chance of doing something extra, and the upgraded versions are a buff that's a 100% chance, though for Akihiko it's the attack executing twice, whereas for Shinjiro it is the attack getting splash damage, and Akihiko definitely gets the better deal here. Just like he does in general, because of, you know, Shinjiro, if you know, you know. Still, at least we have 3 more evolved personas, so now we just have to get Morgana and Teddy's. Morgana I already leveled up to 55 earlier, so I had to get into 56 to get the persona upgrade, but still, an upgrade is an upgrade. Another switch here that I believe we have to press immediately, because there's going to be a fan in our path. Just hope that I was right about its configuration here. Unfortunately, I need a follow-up or a lucky crit in order to actually get the... I mean, that's not bad, but because Yusuke was asleep and he had my elect skill. Follow-up, please? Follow-up? Follow-up? No? That should be a clean victory, though. So, yeah, let's go. Finished off, and... how close are Morgana and Teddy? Kentucky Doji was reborn as Kamui, and... So, Immunity Bod, which originally had a 25% chance of nulling physical attacks, now becomes Invincible Bod, which is a 45% chance of nulling physical attacks. Which is a little weaker than Immunity Buffer, but Teddy does at least get it for free. Also, yeah, Kamui has 3 resistances, which is pretty good. I hope I made the right call with... Nope! I was wrong about the configuration, and I had to press that switch again. Oh, you're new? Phantom Master. It's always scary when these things show up. They're typically a late-game enemy. Phantom Master is... Okay, yeah, it's resistant to every single magical element except for Psi. And it is neutral to physical. Once again, I can get a full knockdown here, but I am reliant on Miracle Punch hitting. And Teddy is too busy using Ice to actually get the Agility Bind up, but fortunately, I got the crit there, so yeah. Okay, one thing that's nice about this party is, besides Shinjiro, obviously, but he's mostly there for defense, it's a very fast one. Oh, nice one! That's one thing that Heroic Gemini can do for you, it can correct mistakes. Not gonna correct this mistake though, because I had a feeling the odds of me hitting that twice in a row were not high. Well, I'm definitely hitting next turn. That was bad timing. I am very glad that I missed those people. And I'm very glad that Shinjiro has Endure and Return from Yomi, though it's not going to actually give him a second chance to do that. Don't kill me, please. Oh, wow, he actually survived that. Question is... Oh, that is 100% safe. I think I'm gonna have to go for that and lose my progress rather than risk Yusuke being slower than either of them when using a Vanish Ball. Oh, Morgana having a weapon named after Tom Sawyer actually makes a lot of sense. I like how one of the late game knife weapons is just Kitchen Knife, and I don't even have all the stuff I need to make it. It's like Shadow Rend, Fearful Kunai, Ravenclaw, Kitchen Knife. I've seen some pretty extreme kitchen knives in my day, though. Yeah, if you just move to one side and then just keep moving in the same direction, it's never gonna catch you. And I have swapped out Yusuke for Akihiko entirely so I can have Mazionga. Ah, it's not the... That could have been the Flanderization one, but no. You know, it actually makes perfect sense that when I finally bring Akihiko in entirely for Mazionga, Shinjiro finishes off the enemy before he gets a chance to do it. Yeah, again, I am appreciating these high-speed party. Obviously, you know, the way that I'm playing the game is just to, like, use everyone, but when you're thinking about more optimal parties, having a lot of speed is good, and we now have another evolution! With Mercurius, Kitty Step upgrades to Trick Step. So Kitty Step was a 20% boost to evasion, while Trick Step is 35%, which actually makes it better than Dodge Arts Plus. And it's an exact clone of Yukiko's Mirage Dance. These skills are a little awkward. They only work if you have circles active. Reminds me of certain Pokemon combos like, you know, Swallow and like Spit Up, which require to use a different move to set up some kind of other effect before the moves even do anything. But yeah, I did say that I wanted Life Aid. I think in a way Life Aid kind of overrides Paths of Light. I mean, Paths of Light is still very good, and ideally I'd have both, but having the, like, I normally get rid of Farsight, but I need Farsight for just the convenience of seeing stuff I need to mark on my map in advance. So finally, we can go to where that fan is. Okay, so door here, and there's just a little jutting out part there, and just something that leads to a treasure spot up the top, which I was about to say, we haven't got an encounter yet. Nope, we have! Okay, you're the... I don't have curse on this party. Okay, right. Yeah, Caesar is pronounced Kaiser in Japanese. Yeah, I'm gonna Vanish Ball this. But I do still have Alice, right? Yes. Who can afford to take Alice? Oh, okay, yeah, Teddy's going all in on binds and has no elemental coverage right now. Oh, but Alice will let him go all in on binds and also have elemental coverage. So there's no reason for me not to just go Alice on Teddy right now. Yes, Sacred Trinket. Oh, we also got Gleaming Trinket. Maybe that's even better. I mean, I don't know how it could be better, but we'll see. Yeah, I am weirdly unfamiliar with all of the, like, I must have just not been very diligent at going through treasure spots on my first playthrough, but yeah. So, we have this thing now, and this is about the point where you're supposed to realize something about it. Which we might be finding out eventually. Yes, it can fly! So, gaps in the floor are of no consequence to it. And you might need to abuse that sometimes. Okay, it's just going that way. So we're good for the moment. The good news is it's not an aggressive FOE, which means if you get into a battle, you're totally safe. Yeah, you know it's a fast party when Morgana and Teddy are the last to go in a turn. Well, besides, you know, Shinjiro, but he's used to being the big slow guy. Though actually, I don't think he's that slow in the original Persona 3. And he's even slower now that he's asleep. I was laughing because Fuka there just reminded me of the Wiggles and Wake up, Jeff! I know I've made that reference before in a JRPG when somebody fell asleep. I'm so proud of, like, you know, Australia for the fact that Wiggles are popular overseas. Okay, we may have a slight problem here, though. We're probably not going to get the all-out finisher. Yeah, it's way too low on health that. Also, okay, no. We are, Ken and Morgana are boosted, so they're just going to beat it before Akihiko gets a chance to go. And there we go. So, the rest of this floor is actually fairly, oh, I don't know if actually I have Futaba's Persona Evolution yet. But the rest of this floor is actually fairly straightforward. So, by coincidence, and yes, I'm not making a joke there, it was actually a coincidence, I happen to have 3 of FeMC's romance options here. So, I can actually give the FeMC romance tangent. Of course, the first thing I want to mention is, I obviously do not approve of the fact that Ken is an option. Ken should not have been an option. I don't know whose idea it was to make Ken an option. I applaud them for not making Junpei an option, but why did they make Ken an option? Like the only, okay, yeah, well, I was about to say, there are 2 positive things I have to say about Ken's option. One is how hilarious the Tartarus interactions with him and Akihiko are, but obviously I still don't approve of actually doing the pairing. And 2 is that it is at least very easy to avoid the romance route. Like, you will not, like, a lot of people act like Ken's romance route with FeMC is, like, 100% guaranteed if you do his social link. It's not. In fact, there is no way you're gonna do Ken's romance route unless you're intentionally trying. It is very, very obvious which responses lead to it. Karanemi! Okay. Now I know what a funny way of saying Yamato Takeru, but Ken's delivery definitely takes the cake here. It's funny how I consider his voice one of the weirdest in Japanese, and yet he has a very... I know I keep stressing this, but like I have to say it again. His Japanese VA is Shinji Ikari. That's a very prestigious voice actress. So, like, the fact that Ken sounds this weird is, well, weird to me. But on that note, the real thing that I find remarkable about the FeMC's romances is that, besides Ken, all of them are extremely difficult to actually get. I almost wonder if it's like a callback to a lot of otome games, which also tend to have fairly complicated romance routes to unlock. But there, like, unlocking the romances was like the entire part, like the entire appeal of the game. Okay, so, the fact that that is blowing, and there is no blocker for it, means we could just walk right there, and that's going to lead to the end of the floor. We are pretty much done here, if we want to be, just like the previous floor. So a lot of, like, the floors of the final dungeon are actually optional, but obviously we want to keep exploring down here. But yeah, the romance routes are very, very complicated and difficult to unlock for a lot of FeMC's options. That one, if that other tower gets to go and uses Mazionga, because it's always that one of them summons the Thundercloud and the other uses Mazionga, and if that had hit Ken, we would have had problems. But it did not, and therefore we are probably good, because Morgana's going to be able to heal here. But yeah, probably the least complicated of the difficult ones to unlock the romance for is Shinjiro. Shinjiro requires you to get to rank 10, and then spend time with him an additional time, even though the game will outright say your bond can't possibly get any stronger. Another thing is, there's a common misconception about Shinjiro's romance route. A lot of people think that... Oh, wait, I've got to pause because Futaba's about to get a Persona Revolution. But I was going to say, a lot of people think that the thing that happens, the change of the story that happens, if you max out Shinjiro's social link, is only for romancing him. No, you just have to max out his social link. You do not have to romance him for it. Well, we already went through this. I just forgot to register you. Again, I don't really care about that. Prometheus looks kind of funny with this new style. And yeah, all this does, the Navigator upgrade, is 0 shift, now takes 1 less, and Final Guard now costs 4 meter rather than 5. For Rise, costing 4 meter rather than 5 is great, because it means you can spend that 1 additional meter on Spotlight, but for Futaba, there's not really a ton that she's got that can really... that'll really benefit from, like, having 1 extra gauge left over after using Final Guard, so... I don't really find it that great, but you actually want to come down here, because even though it is totally optional, there's a shortcut here, and that's this shortcut is your best way of accessing the later parts of the floor. Also, there appears to be an FOE that's just sitting... Oh, right, no, that was the Humber... I might have to step on its tiles in order to actually get the chest. Which, that chest over there, that's actually the map chest. So let me just do the color marking thing. Will I be able to finally get my revenge on this thing? No, it's a Bane Warrior, not the Curse Weak one. The Warrior is weak to Ice, and it banes Fire, Wind, and Curse. I am going to be using Fire here, but if it's weak to Ice, I probably still got this. Korga, you use Fire, you use Ice. And we probably got this, because it's going to die before it gets a chance to use its Holy Wrath. So yeah, as for my thoughts on Shinjiro's romance, I do really like it. I admit it's biased because I like the kind of implied canon options, and in most media outside of Persona 3, Shinjiro's romance is the one they tend to go for FeMC. Apparently in the stage plays... Oh, I actually just crit you, okay. But I still need to use the ice anyway for the Cupid. The Cupids tend to be weak to ice in most games they're in. Just like the dice are often weak for electricity. But yeah, stage plays apparently go with FeMC and Shinjiro as the main pairing. Which kind of makes it the closest thing to a canon pairing for FeMC there is. That's not really going to help me get an all-out attack, but at least it's more damage. And in general, it is really nice. I do worry about how that's gonna, like, ultimately impact... Because, I mean, it's a tragic romance for a lot of reasons, given that... Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get the all-out attack finisher here. They're all just gonna die, so may as well just go all out with spamming stuff. Which means I'm probably gonna lose all these boosts, but oh well. Like, for certain reasons, it is tragic. But I also feel like they would have no regrets, and it's a sense of, you know, even though it was brief, they both had that love in their lives. So I do think it's at least better than, again, like, you know, the Ken one is horrible for a lot of reasons, but another reason that it's horrible besides the obvious is just the fact that it's what happens at the end of Persona 3 would probably mess Ken up very badly. If on the FeMC romance route, so just in general, that one is bad for a lot of reasons. Oh, I can't even preview the map tiles without throwing away something. I have these growth incenses burning a hole in me. But it just feels wrong to get an Ultimate Persona evolution off of using an incense. And yes, I do have to step on the tiles, near that first Humber bar. Had a feeling. But let's clear up these other tiles as well, while I clear up talking about the FeMC romance options, because then we have Akihiko. So, I know people who have Akihiko as their favorite romance option for FeMC, and honestly, I'm okay with that. I think it's pretty good. It's admittedly kind of hilarious that Akihiko is so insanely dense that FeMC has to straight up tell him that he's in love with her for him to realize. I mean, it fits Akihiko's character, because, like, again, Akihiko is, like, one of the densest people of all time. Even when he's not flanderized into, like, a meathead, when it comes to social cues and, like, romance, Akihiko is one of the densest people to ever live. Aha! There's Invincible Bod! That is good, because now I got rid of the one enemy that, except Ken is strength-bound, which means I can't use Psylink. True Critical Eye. I like Hailstorm, and all of these are pretty good, actually. If I want to use True Critical Eye, I'll use Chie or Junpei. Phantom Script. Is that the script for a Ghost Trick movie? Because I wouldn't mind a Ghost Trick movie. Oh, I can't actually harvest this. I almost said salvage. You can tell I'm a Xenoblade 2 fan. Using a boosted All-Guard just to make sure that Ken doesn't die. Actually, very fitting for Shinjiro. And that should be the game. I like that I usually like to cut fights right before the final order attack, just because we at least get to see that, because it looks cool. And let me get the cool guys don't look at explosions thing. I'll be getting quite a lot of good level ups here. And once again, like, I could theoretically go for Curse Boost and Amp on Alice, now that I have Voivre for the double binds. I kind of like having the, like, Alice with the binds and offense, though. I really should go back and sell my stuff, but we're almost done with the floor anyway, so I may as well finish it off. Make sure that you get blown from this tile, otherwise you'll miss some floor tiles. Okay. But yeah, so So Akihiko's romance, like the romance itself is also quite nice. Like, I like the way that it's written, I like the dynamic he has with FeMC. It's pretty good. The only complaint that I have is how it's a bit of a jerk to unlock, and again, it makes sense because Akihiko is incredibly dense, but what doesn't really make sense is the fact that I need to go became more, which kind of does make sense. So if you miss all the flags you need, then you are completely locked out of his romance. And again, this does make sense because I think I'm gonna actually have to go boom through the shortcut. Because yeah, I have to lure this thing around and then head back. Yeah, you chase me downwards because I'm actually eyeing up your territory. One more tile left. But yeah, the problem is that one of the flags just so happens to be in one of his very early ranks, and you won't realize that you have missed the flag until way later in the game, because Akihiko, for story reasons, can't progress to the higher ranks of his social link until after October 4th. If you played Persona 3, you will know why. But the romance route comes after that point, but the flag comes before, so if you get to that point and you realize you missed the romance flag, you have to reload very far back in the game if you want to fix this. This is actually an issue that Lady Vigilia ran into when she was doing her playthrough. She was trying to romance Akihiko, and she was not able to, because of this. Aha, I do have Orb of Haste to counteract their Masukukaja, which I will probably need here. In before Ken misses anyway. Wow, in before is such a... Like, that was from my generation of the internet, but I don't think people really say it anymore. That came from forums, like, in before the lock was, like, people who got into a forum thread before it got, you know, locked, as in, you know, people got banned from posting. But, yes, goodbye, and now I can step on this tile. But yeah, Akihiko's romance is difficult. Speaking of romances that are difficult, you also have Ryoji as a romance option outside of the party. I do not want that. I do not like removing binds. Go away, Punishing End. Dear Rahan's fine, though. Oh, Freydine is a transferable skill. I will definitely take that. No Hex. There's not a lot at this point that even uses Hex, so I kind of wonder, but I mean, any null for an ailment. It's funny how you get null confusion so comparatively early in the game. I like how, right, like, instead of, like, the quote for maxing out the map, Futaba instead said, "It's coming, guys." Oh god, it's coming. The map completion is coming. I can't stop it! Oh, Glooming Trick is worse than Sacred Trinket. But you can still get power charge out of it. Thank you! Just what I was saying! That was one of the few elemental drains I didn't have. Wait, what the heck am I doing? I bought Repulse Horns entirely for this reason. Seraph's Wing unlocks special fusion for Digital Devil Saga jump scare. Sadly, no, it is not Seraph from Digital Devil Saga. Level 85? Okay then. Seriously, you are not expected to be that high for Enlil. If you are that high, Enlil is going to be a joke. So this is probably more post-game. Also, you require Metatron for that. Yeah, for once, Metatron's not like one of the strongest angels. Yeah, Metatron, Sandalphon, and Trumpeter makes this thing, which I think I remember from one of the Shin Megami Tensei. I'm pretty sure it was a boss in one of either 4 or 4 Apocalypse. Granted, when, you know, a high-ranking Angel of Law is a boss in a Shin Megami Tensei game, that meme, do you have any idea how little that narrows it down, is very appropriate. But yeah, so now that I'm at the end of the floor, I was gonna mention the other FeMC romance, Ryoji. Yeah, that one's difficult to do, because if you miss a single opportunity to hang out with him, you don't just lose the romance, you lose the entire social link. And your reward for actually doing it, well...
Please touch me. make sure that I exist. It's painful deep inside.
It's painful deep inside.
And on that note, thank you everyone and good night.